All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to True Crime Loser. I hope you're doing well. So today, I'm going to talk about Lori and Chad Daybell, the Daybells. And Lori and Chad got married last year. They had both been married before and divorced, and now they meet and they're two peas in a pod, and they come together to become the Daybells. And since they got married, this is the timeline. Get a load of this. So in July, Lori's brother kills her ex-husband. At the time, it is ruled as self-defense. A little over a month after that is in September. So that was in July. In September is the last time anyone has seen Lori's kids. Not good. A 16-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy. Last seen in September. The next month, in October, Chad's ex-wife dies. At the time, it's ruled natural causes. The next month, in November, law enforcement come to do a welfare check on the kids, who still just, it's kind of like a Casey Anthony thing. It's like, what do you mean? Where are your kids? And Lori did one of the, oh yeah, they're hanging out with someone somewhere else. Everything is good, though. And law enforcement was like, what? And then right after that welfare check, Lori and Chad skip town, like concerned parents do. And then the next month, so that's in November, then the next month, Lori's brother, who had recently killed her ex-husband, dies. So now, in a few short months, both of the exes are dead, the kids are missing, and the brother that killed the ex-husband is also dead. And so, the question became, where are the Daybells? And the answer is Hawaii. This past weekend, law enforcement tracked them down in Hawaii. So everyone's dead, the kids are missing, the grandparents are back in Idaho going, doing all the interviews, holding up missing posters with the kids on them, torn up about it, and Lori and Chad are in Hawaii like tiny bubbles in the wine, just slow dancing to Don Ho. And so law enforcement caught up to them. They're in Hawaii, and they had told the Idaho news station that had been covering it, they had told them, listen, we're going to Hawaii this weekend. We tracked them down if you want to be there. So the news station flies to Hawaii, and as law enforcement is confronting them with a court order that says, your kids are missing, that's a big problem, not to ruin your little Hawaii trip, but your kids are missing. And so here's a court order that by Thursday, I don't know why they even get a court order and why they get until Thursday, but that's the way it's going. You have to produce your kids by Thursday. So today, while I'm filming this right now, is Wednesday. So tomorrow there's a court order. I don't know if they're still in Hawaii or if they've flown back to Idaho, but there's a court order that they have to produce their children, her children. I have a feeling it's not going to happen and she's going to be arrested. Also, just because of how bizarre the whole thing is, Chad's ex-wife, who is buried, is being dug up for a more intense autopsy to see what's going on. Lori's brother, who died around Christmas, who had recently killed her ex, is now getting, I think, a more intense autopsy to see what's going on. So, unbelievable story. I mean, if it comes out that they just offed everyone and went to Hawaii for a luau, it's one of the most terrifying couples that I've seen in a long time. And so, tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow's Thursday, and I don't know, what is she going to do? Is she just going to turn herself in? They're going to say, okay, where are your kids, Lori? And they confiscated their vehicle. They had an SUV. They confiscated that in Hawaii, towed it away. And so they were forced to walk to wherever they were going or walk back to their hotel room or something. And the Idaho news station asked her questions that whole 3 minutes because they couldn't just get in a car and drive off. They had to walk. And so they had nowhere to go. And so the whole time, the reporter is like, Lori, where are your kids? And she's like, no comment. He's like, what do you mean no comment? They haven't been seen since September. Why are you in Hawaii? No comment. And the grandparents are back in Idaho being like, please, and they're in Hawaii, and it's just a totally crazy story. So that's what I'll be following tomorrow to see if Lori produces the kids, and if not, I think she'll get arrested, and the whole ball is going to start rolling quick for them. So check that out. Also, yesterday, Fotis Dulos tried to kill himself. As of right now, 8:30 a.m. on the January 29th, he's in critical condition. So a bunch of news stories came out yesterday that he was dead. I guess what I heard is that there was rumors that his bail or bond was going to be revoked and he'd have to go to jail awaiting his trial. And just the sheer thought of not being in a mansion caused him to sprint to the garage, start the car with the door closed, and just try to end it all. Somehow, Inside Edition, with a drone or something, has footage. I don't know why they went over to check on him or what, but someone went over and looked into the window in the garage and saw him in the car with it running. They got him out, drug him out to the driveway where there's fresh air. And Inside Edition, like I said, with a drone or something, has footage of them pumping his chest, and they get a pulse going. They bring him to a hospital and then airlifted him to a hospital in New York City. So he's here. Great. And, man, I wonder if just there had to be a moment where Fotis is sitting there in the garage, the sad, lonely mansion garage in probably some luxury car, just wondering if the whole thing was worth it. Should have just got a divorce. I'm really hoping he pulls through. Like he comes to, he thinks he's died. He's like, yes, it's over. And he opens his eyes and they're just like, hey, Fotis, welcome back. Your bond got revoked. You got to go to jail. Sorry, buddy. But so Fotis was almost dead yesterday and is now in critical condition. That's a turn of events. And lastly, I guess I got to recommend the Hernandez documentary on Netflix. I watched it this past weekend, and it's really good. I'm thinking about doing some type of episode or something about it, but check it out. I recommend it. It's a crazier story than I thought it was. I had kind of followed it, had saw that an NFL player was being charged with murder and didn't really follow it too closely, and then saw that he was killed or saw that he had committed suicide and was like, whoa, that's crazy. That was about the extent of my knowledge. But it is a wild story, and I guess I'll do what makes it so wild, which I didn't know. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but it still won't ruin any. It'll be really a fun watch even with this. But if you want to have the whole thing a total surprise, click off now. But what I didn't know is, so two guys after going to the nightclub, nothing ever good happens from the club. Has a rapper or an athlete ever gone to the club and then left being like, my life is better? Maybe. But so these two guys go to this nightclub and then they leave and are driving home, and a silver SUV pulls up to them and fires off a bunch of shots into their car, and they're both killed. And they try to find the silver SUV. They don't find it. The case pretty much goes cold. A whole NFL season played out. Professional football. Aaron Hernandez is catching passes from Tom Brady. He's scoring touchdowns. He's doing his little touchdown dance that he does. And then after that season, Aaron Hernandez's, I think, girlfriend or wife, the mother of his child's sister's boyfriend ends up dead very close to Aaron Hernandez's house, and they pretty much easily tracked down the rental car that Aaron was driving that night, and there was shell casings from the gun still in the rental car. Like, there's all this evidence. It's crazy. And then, so while they're searching around trying to find evidence for that murder for Aaron Hernandez, they search his cousin's place, who he trusted more than anyone, and in the cousin's garage, all dusty and hadn't been driven in a year, is the silver SUV. And so all of a sudden, it goes from one murder case to another double murder case. He was a pro football player with a $40 million contract, and it's just like unbelievable. Unbelievable. But check out that documentary. I think it's definitely worth a watch. They did a good job. I'm going to cut it off there. Let's follow the Daybell situation. Can't imagine what's going through Vallow-Daybell's head right now. Tomorrow she has to produce 2 kids that haven't been seen since September. So let's watch it play out. I hope you're having a good week. I hope all is well. I love you all. See you next time. Last question. Why Stuyvesant? Why?